right-wing conspiracy theorists are claiming that a Michigan school was providing litter boxes for students who identify as cats. I kid you not. This is something that a lot of people are saying. It's going around online. People are talking about it, and so that led to Lisa Hansen, a parent at this school, getting very upset over these claims, and she's going to let you know how she feels.
I want to talk about the fact that, and I know this is going on nationwide, so it is not just for this board, but our community needs to understand that the agenda that is being pushed through our schools is, just my opinion, but somewhat nefarious when it comes to some of the activities. So let's talk about furries. It was addressed by a child a couple months ago, that they are put in an environment where there are kids that identify as a furry, a cat or a dog, whatever. And so yesterday I heard that at least one of our schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats. And I am really disturbed by that. And I will do some more investigation on that. I know it's going on nationwide. I know it is. It's part of the agenda that's being pushed. I don't even want to understand it. But I think that people need to be aware of it, because I am really upset as a parent that my child is put in an environment like that. And you know, I'm all for creativity and imagination, but when someone lives in a fantasy world and expects other people to go along with it, I have a problem with that. So I'm just putting that out there. I will investigate more.
I know this is going on, but I need to investigate more. But I heard this is going on all over the country, and it's part of the agenda, but I also need to investigate a little bit more. But this is definitely happening. No, it's not. It's not. For one, no, schools, especially this school, but no school that I know of, first of all, has an agenda to put litter boxes in the bathroom, in the unisex bathrooms. That's not happening. That's fake, literal fake news. But again, the whole thing is just absolutely insane. But okay. Let me get to first the school's response to this. All right. So last Thursday, Midland Public Schools Superintendent Michael Sharrow had to address this. Imagine taking time out of your day to address this insanity. Saying this: "It is unconscionable that this afternoon I'm sending this communication." Lots of self-awareness there. "There's no truth whatever to this false statement/accusation. There have never been litter boxes within MPS schools. We knew the accusations of a litter box is outrageous, and we never heard such a thing before," he later on told BuzzFeed News. Well, I'm not surprised, because there's only a small section of the internet where you would hear something like this, and that's right-wing blogs. Right-wing blogs, some sort of weirdo, like, conservative forums, 4chan, 8chan, 8kun, all the, the gateway pundit, weirdo stuff from like the butthole of the internet. Yes, that's how I explain it, because it's really the best explanation of where it comes from. The butthole of the internet. And so that's where they're getting this. Online conspiracy theories. So okay, so now, interestingly enough, there's two components to this as well, right? About who they're going after. First is the furries, right? So they're going after the furries. The furries. First of all, none of the furries are in the schools putting litter boxes anywhere. That's insanity. Look, furries are essentially harmless, right? Don't worry about the furries. Do your own thing. No judgment here, right? I don't care what you do, but nobody's pushing that on kids. They're not pushing that on kids. Total insanity, right? But there's another component to this as well. And maybe it's just me, but like, it seems like it's also a jab at transgender people. Now, how do I figure, right? Well, because it kind of sounded like what she was talking about is the one joke conservatives had. They identify as an attack helicopter. You've heard it all, the helicopter joke. And so now, these kids identify as cats, and so now they're trying to use a litter box, and the schools are accommodating them. And again, you can apply that like, yeah, these boys are identifying as girls, so now they're trying to use the girls' bathroom. Again, it's also transphobic in there, and so now they're taking the furries, and then they're taking transgender people, and they're just going after both of them. I mean, it's really, really sad. It's super disgusting as well how they're attacking, again, two very harmless communities. I mean, I don't have any problem with furries. Obviously, transgender people. I mean, again, human rights are human rights. Even if you identify as a cat, that's okay. Do you? But again, going back to this, the key phrase that makes you know without a shadow of a doubt where she gets her news. News. I hear it's going on nationwide. I'm going to do more investigation, you guys. Well, again, where did you investigate this? No, you did the research like the same way that anti-vaxxers do their research. Sitting on the toilet. That's what it is. I mean, and unfortunately, this has spread all across the right wing. I mean, look, Michonne Maddock. I mentioned her earlier. She was one of the people that actually had, I believe it was her husband, was a literal fake elector for Donald Trump in Michigan. So now, here's what she said. She's the co-chair of the Michigan Republican Party. She said, parent heroes will take back our schools after sharing this video and repeating the false information, again, which isn't true. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't happening. Again, fake news. But it doesn't matter to them because here's the thing. When BuzzFeed reached out to her, right, and said, hey, this isn't real, by the way. Here's a bunch of different statements from the people at the school. Here's what she responded. Quote, just because the superintendent says it's false does not make it false. And then suggested talking with parents whose children have, quote unquote, said otherwise. Okay, now here's a follow-up, right? When asked if she could direct reporters to those people, those, parents, whatever, or the kids that had an account, right? So they could talk to them and say, okay, is this really happening? What's going on in the schools? Show me the litter box. Her response was silence. Nope. Did not respond. Fascinating. Look, again, here we have incredibly gullible, ridiculous, also angry people, right? And this is, again, spreading all through the right. There was hints of transphobia, of course, in there as well. And so, what this is about. This is about trying to attack the school boards. The right has been basically, at war with local school boards to try to intimidate people. You've got like Matt Walsh and other conservative influencers just taking their massive audiences and just directing them at these school boards and these school board members. And of course, what happens? They get inundated with threats, harassment, and then they quit. And guess what? They're replaced by insane people. And those are the people who will be running the schools. So that's a pretty dangerous component of it. And so it's not just the absurdity of like, oh, the cat boxes in the schools for the furries. But again, that's just part of it. But the other part is far more actually insidious and is part of a conspiracy.